Welcome, people of YouTube. Guy Gash here again today. It's been a while since my last book review, but here's another book review. And what I tried to do with this one is I've actually finished reading this like a couple of days ago, so it's still fresh in my memory. And I could have done loads of other book reviews, but the books I've read is a while ago, so like when I come round to trying to think of them and stuff, it will be difficult. But this one, really good book. It's The Endorphin Effect by William Bloom. A breakthrough strategy for holistic health and spiritual well-being. So this book is really good. I've really enjoyed reading it. The endorphin effect is about when you feel pleasure, your body releases a chemical which is an endorphin, and that is in your body and it's physically happening. So it's on about the book's about trying to trigger them feelings and strategies to awaken them feelings, and you can consciously make them feelings happen, and with exercises in the book flow them around your body. So it is a chemical and you can push it around your body, and it's around your body and you can feel it, and you can feel the feeling of the endorphins. So let me boost into a few pages. I always like to do this just so it helps me explain the benefits. So I'll just read a few benefits off the top of my head. Well, out of the book. So I'm just picking them at random. Developing the benefits of the endorphin effect. Developing the clear and positive vision needed for clarifying next steps, goals and purpose. So your purpose in life and stuff like that. Health maintenance, stress control, relaxation, transforming burnout. So when you burn out and tired, you can transform it and get away from them. That really, when you really burn out and you really like, you can actually think of things and think, actually, and trigger the endorphin effect. Confidence building, self-esteem and clear boundaries. So let's go again. So one interesting topic, it's called Cats, Soccer, Sex and Chocolate. So what it was meaning, what it means in this paragraph that I can remember is that he's quite a spiritual follower. Like he has a spiritual practice and he does meditation. He meditated for hours and stuff to experience this and understand it and find it. But people were having the same feelings while eating like chocolate or obviously having sex. That triggers endorphins. Tickling the cat or watching football. People were experiencing these endorphins and these endorphins effect without actually having to go into like a massive spiritual practice or read about all these different things. We're experiencing them but unknowingly. So William Bloom is a teacher and he runs classes and stuff from what I found out in the book. Let me find some more. So I've got it all highlighted in green. Happy blobs. I really like this paragraph and this stood out for me right from the start. Another significant discovery was the endorphins are found not just in humans but in all living creatures, even tiny single-celled organisms. The most basic of life forms have opiate receptors, so opiate receptors and endorphins. So what he's saying is like even single-celled organisms, so like scientists looking at a cell in a microscope, they can experience endorphins. This basic amino acid, then, which creates pleasurable feelings in people, is a fundamental part of biological life. Imagine looking down a microscope and seeing a tiny single-cell creature floating around in its liquid. For me, it is stunning that this little being carries a feel-good chemical in its body. This leads to a major question. Does this creature experience happiness? I do not know, but maybe it is a very comfortable little blob. That tiny single-cell creature possesses endorphins in a profoundly optimistic piece of information. It means that every cell of our multi-celled body is capable of experiencing endorphins, and that their propensity to experience happiness and euphoria is biologically built into each and every one of us. So every cell in our body can experience endorphins. It's not just you, it's actually your cells as well. So it's crazy. It's a full body motion and full body feeling. So he's got like stuff like this written, which is like endorphins, happy mood, pleasurable event. a crucial practical point here is that people can actively choose to use this mental and imaginative ability in order to change the biochemistry of their body. This can be seen clearly in the extreme example of yogis and fakirs who masterfully trigger their endorphins in order to manage self-inflicted injuries. Different aspects of a human being must be in harmony. So, physical well-being, endorphins, psychological well-being. So this is like healthcare and holistic healthcare. Harmony is the normal state in which we are supposed to live. Real healthcare is maintaining this harmony. I've just highlighted different sentences. I'll read a few off to you. I do recommend this book for anybody who wants to really take a grip of the life and really seek a sense of enjoyment and an enjoyment from the self, and really self-develop. And also people maybe with depression, or people who not with depression, but like who feel a bit depressed or feel a bit low or stuff like that. People who want to work on themselves and discover more about themselves. And this body that we've been given has a power that you can actually adapt and use. And I can speak for myself. After finishing the book, I do use this, and in moments in any place, I can trigger my endorphins, and I can sit with them and muster them and stuff like that, and really let them flow around me, and it really changes your whole perspective. Like literally, you can be in a bit of a bad mood, and consciously, if you're aware of it and notice it, you can pick up on it and change it. Just as you find harmony and pleasure in your environment, so the community of life around you must also be able to find harmony and pleasure in you. So that you're changing yourself and people are finding pleasure in you. I began to find a space of inner quiet. I found myself able to observe and witness my erratic and intense personality. But who was this person within me who was watching myself? I then began to realise that I was more than just my frenzied daily personality, and that I possessed a deeper identity. This deeper identity was quiet and observant, and was always in a very content and pleasurable mood. So you're forming a deeper connection with your deeper self. Yeah, really taking off the layers of what you think you are and understanding what you truly are. There is a multidimensional world of energy and consciousness that human beings can access using certain strategies for calming the body and guiding the mind. I'm just reading parts of the book. I hope people will really look into it, man. Even just looking into it, the bliss fields, the general energy field which human beings experience as bliss, runs through all nature and the universe. We are surrounded by it, and we are also a part of it. So what he's saying here in this book is this energy field that you're feeling and experiencing, this joy, is actually always around us, and it's everywhere being experienced, and it's a part of us. The key to endorphin effect concept: physicality triggers the production of feel-good endorphins and relaxation. A pleasurable event or thought energetically melts body tension so that benevolent wave fields can be felt and absorbed. So what it goes through into talk for the book, I'll just skip a good bit. Maybe just show you an exercise. Is how like triggering endorphins is you melt body tension and you melt tension in yourself, and so you might feel like aches and pains and stuff, and you can actually use the endorphin effect to help heal yourself, and it's self-healing. Simply by thinking about a particular part of your body, you create what is called a neural pathway, a connection between your mind and brain and that body part. What else we got here? So yeah, I do recommend the book. Like I say, it is quite life-changing, to be honest. Be a parent to your body is an interesting factor. So rather than try and find loads of pages, basically creating an environment that's good for your body. So with the endorphin effect, you're creating pleasure within yourself. Your body likes it. Your body is a responsive animal almost. Your body is a vehicle, but it's also a living organism. And it's responding to how you are looking after it and how you are taking care of it. And it mentions multiple times in this book, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm not telling you what diet to eat and stuff, but you are the parent to your body, so you've got to nurture it, be careful and take care of it and really embrace the body and look after the body. It does mention yoga, and it's funny enough that I started Ashtanga yoga, but not fully. I'd fully got going into yoga at the time of reading the book, which was quite interesting and quite synchronicity. Yeah, man. And yeah. I prefer to take a positive view and even be excited about what we have created. I prefer to believe that it is a meaningful. As a species, we have been through an adolescence growth surge and have produced fantastic social, cultural and technological structures. We do not know the problems we would create. We would have built great tension into our lives, but this has been springboard for fantastic human effort. So what he talks about is how the endorphin effect can actually develop and change a culture. Millions of people are turning to a holistic healthcare approach because it works. It encourages and empowers individuals to participate in their own healthcare and cures. It understands the relationship between body and mind. It understands the relationship between the individual and the wider energetic environment. So, I know through one of his exercises, he talks about, I don't think I need to find the pages. Basically, talks you through an exercise of, he calls them strawberries, and he tells a story about a guy running through a jungle away from some sort of animals, and he's running through the jungle and he falls off a cliff face. There's crocodiles in the river. He's hanging onto a piece of vine, and a mouse starts nibbling through the vine, and then all of a sudden everything's going wrong. He's in sheer panic, and he sees a strawberry, and he eats the strawberry, and that was a sensation of pleasure, and the story ends there, so he says, and everyone's a bit like, well, what's all that about? So what he's meaning by strawberries, and he's mentioned strawberries in the book, is finding what your strawberries are. So your strawberries are something that gives you pleasure. So he talks about exercises. So he sits people down, and people say, I don't get the endorphin effect, I don't know what it's about. So you can do this now. You sit down and you think, and you close your eyes and you sit and you breathe, and then you think of something, let something come to mind that gives you pleasure. So for me, people laughing, children laughing, I don't know, landing a double bar spin on my BMX, going down to the beach, I don't know, maybe me and my partner thinking of getting a house together and stuff. That feeling, for me, one of my strongest strawberries at the moment is the feeling of walking through the door to my partner with a new home environment and a home feel, and sitting down and cuddling, and that connection that everybody knows when you come home, you're like, oh yes, I'm home now. So that feeling, so you sit with that feeling and you cradle it, and then you produce an inner smile. So it doesn't have to be external, but it can be, but an inner smile, so you feel like you're smiling on the inside. So smile on the inside. Then you let the smile become into your eyes, so you're also smiling with your eyes closed still. Then you focus and muster that energy, and then you send it down into your deep, and he calls your hara, the centre of the stomach. Sorry about that, that's my text tone. I didn't realise my phone was on loud, my bad. You send it down into your hara, which is the base of your stomach, which is like your energy centre. And then from there, still with your eyes closed, you focus on trying to send it around your body. So he had people in this class who were like, a guy was saying, oh, I don't get all this stuff, I don't believe in all this stuff, I don't believe it works, so-and-so, the only person, whoever makes me, I don't like my life, I don't like this, I don't like that, the only thing that makes me happy is, I can't remember the famous person, say, for example, Jimi Hendrix. He was like, the only person who makes me happy is Jimi Hendrix. And he was like, well, you found your strawberry already. That is your strawberry. So this guy got a picture of whoever that, it wasn't Jimi Hendrix, but whoever the person was, he got a picture in his house. So every day he woke up and saw that, and the act of having a strawberry is seeing it, pausing, absorbing it, and then trying to channel it with you. So you see it, pause, absorb, 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 then carry on about your day. So filling your workspace, fill in your bedroom, fill in your place with things that inspire you. So for example, I mean, I've had this for a while, a bit of inspiration there. One Love, Bob Marley, that's my one of my inspirations. A bit of a quote here as I'm leaving the door every morning: life is not a race but a journey to be saved each step of the way. Yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. We've got the chakras, Buddha, crystals, follow your dreams, should I say, and then like a nice picture of nature behind, which you'll probably see in my other videos. But what that is I'm waking up in an environment that's inspirational and triggers my endorphins and triggers pleasure. So some people might watch this, or even if you do pick up the book, please go pick up the book. Do yourself a favour, because you will be able to heal yourself of all psychological stress, even physical ailments and illness, and you can transform yourself, and you can heal yourself. You turn yourself from being a healer, and what comes from reading the book and learning about this is becoming a healer of other people as well, because once you know this information and you try and channel this information into different areas and different people are listening to what you're saying and what you're talking about, people get to twig on and kind of adjust themselves to what you've said and consider what you've said. But back to what I was saying, you might already be doing this in a sense but not be aware of it. But the thing is of being aware of it, and once you get the awareness of it, picking up on it and using it as a tool and channeling this energy, and like I said, everything is energy, man, and this book is a lot about energy. I saw something today, let me think. This is quite a neat touch. So he has a 12-week program, a daily checklist, and that, 1 second, there we go, remembered well. These are all the activities, and you've got wake up, go to sleep with awareness, which I've been trying to do, aware of nature and the universe, not in Blobsville. So to explain what Blobsville is, he's on about that, about like daily society, and not in a society as in get away, but like if you get caught in day-to-day life and job stress and you're in Blobsville. Using strawberries, inner smile, curled deer, which I haven't mentioned. Curled deer, he talks about your energetical self inside. So when you go, when you've had a bad day and you come home and you just think, forget the world, I've had enough, and you just get in bed like with a massive chocolate bar or whatever, bottle of, like a glass of wine or whatever, and you sit in that bed, that is called retreat. It's called a conscious retreat. So that space is good. It's not unhealthy. It is healthy if you can use it and channel it in the right way. So you might get down, get in your bed and absorb that energy and stay within yourself and shut yourself off from everything, and that is healing in itself, because you're having a break away from it, all. And he talks about flopping the body and making the body more childlike, I think he describes it. So like the way a child is quite heavy, quite lumbersome, quite loose, and like he talks about like I can't remember how he words it, but basically like tension and stiffness is associated with death, because death is stiff, and to be alive is to be more flexible and more loose and more. So when you get into bed, sink into bed, proper sink into it, and just let everything drop, like let everything drop. And what you're practicing is like letting all tension go and letting the flow of endorphins. You train your body to let endorphins flow around more, and you might get blockages and stuff like that and tension and stuff, and it's important to try and work with this. This is all very much body mind orientated connection with spirit as well. But what I like about it is he talks about the scientific side. So he actually says, right, we're going to split this book into two in the same, all in the same sections, but I'll give you the scientific approach and the holistic approach. Obviously, I'm more in tune to the holistic approach, and that makes more sense to me. But he does talk about the science stuff and all the chemicals and all the way it works and stuff. So it's actually backed up with evidence, and yeah, it makes you feel like it's more true. It's not just like gobbledygook or made up stuff. So as I say, really good book. I'll just read you the back page. Endorphins are the miracle hormones found in everyone. They kill pain, provide the foundation for good health, and create the physical sensation of pleasure. They are responsible for the euphoria of athletes and pleasure of lovemaking. Hey. The endorphin effect. Dr. William Bloom, Britain's leading holistic teacher, presents a major breakthrough in the field of healthcare and personal development. He reveals a revolutionary method that enables you to produce endorphins for vitality and positive mood whenever you want, even when exhausted or in crisis. So that's really important. So when you're in crisis or when you're feeling tired, you can trigger these things and you can make yourself feel good, but it's just having the know-how. Discover how to use the endorphin effect for an easy and effective program of healthcare, healing and self-improvement. Use it to boost your enjoyment of life, build good health, improve your relationships at home and at work, and enhance your performance in every aspect of your life. The endorphin effect is a practical, powerfully inspirational, and immediately applicable to just about anybody. The techniques it teaches can improve your health and on both an emotional and a physical level, while enhancing the quality of life. I love this book in no small part because of the wisdom and deep love of life which pour forth from every chapter. That's somebody who's put a bit of a ad on the book there. So yeah, go pick it up, man. See what you think. You will probably hear me talking about the endorphin effect in some of my videos. I'll probably apply it because that's what happens. Pick up a book, read, get some knowledge, and then project it. This is how it works. So you'll probably hear me mention endorphin effect or strategies or ways of dissolving tension and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's all good to me. It's all knowledge to me. Go pick it up. See what you think to Mr. William Bloom. It looks like a pretty cool guy. It looks pretty happy. It's happy to me. I'm happy. You're happy. Let's all do this together. Woo!